We're glad y'all
Hello everybody, welcome to Red Tool House. On our YouTube channel, we talk about all things homesteading and try to implement some of that on our 100 acres in southern rural West Virginia. Well, today is chicken processing day, as you can see. We've got a really good team helping us put together our processing crew. And station's working out well. It is what is it, 9 o'clock? 5 after 9 a.m. And we are about halfway done. I think we just emptied the first tractor and we're working on the second. So we had about 42, 43 birds per tractor. So we're making good progress there. So we'll walk around and look at some of the station. Again, we're going to show some chicken processing here. So if you don't have an affinity for the butchering process, you may want to skip the rest of this video. All right. So we've got our dispatching station, and as the chickens have their death rows, our birds turned out to be pretty good size. So they're a little bit bigger than the cones can handle, and we had to put a 2x6 up here to help keep them in. We don't want to flop them out and get them bruised and damaging their wings and legs and stuff. So the dispatch station's working pretty well. We just had to add that board there to help weigh that down. So the rotisserie scalder is working really well. It's staying right at, it's thermostat controlled. It's staying right at about 140 degrees. So we're really like what we're getting there. And we're doing 2 birds at a time. So they're going for a swim together here. And the system's on a timer, which makes this really nice. So Dad can drop them in there and get them rotating, and he can focus on other things. So he's actually running the picker and the rotisserie dunker at the same time while keeping a hand on the board for our flailers. The picker works really well, but I'm not going to put the good camera close to it because it does sling a little bit of water. I'll get a secondary shot here with the iPhone. We're doing 2 at a time. Of course, shower head. We go for a spin. Probably ought to keep my mouth shut while I'm standing here.
Would make good chicken soup.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
I don't need to eat chicken too.
So the picker does a pretty good job. A little bit of tail feathers, maybe a couple flight feathers, but they just come right out. That's the beauty of that scalder being right at proper temperature. So really coming out, and you can see getting the feet skin, toenails even coming off. So we got a nice little pile here, and we can bag those up and throw them out when we're done, or put them in the compost bin. So my lovely bride has become the perfect eviscerator. She's gotten really good at it, and she's been taking care of all the evisceration. We've been removing the legs with a knife, of course, just simply taking those off, keeping those in a separate bin. We don't necessarily have a market for that, but we just want to keep them separate. The dog likes them. But you can see that picker does a pretty good job. If you even have a flight feather stuck, it simply just comes right out. So every once in a while you'll see a feather missing, but really does a good job cleaning them. The scalder does a good job of loosening them up. We put a little bit of dishwashing soap in the scalder. I didn't mention that part, but a little bit of dishwashing soap, and that helps break the surface tension of the water, but also helps clean the bird as they come through. They then go into our primary chill tank, which has vinegar in it to help neutralize any bacteria, all that type of stuff. So that's kind of the first holdout. That's right.
Hey, Heather, don't kiss him for a few days.
What you do?
The chicken,
Like it's salmonella.
he put it in the bin and just went to stuff it down in there, and it projectile pooped right in his face and all the way down the front of him.
It hit my lips.
Shame we didn't catch that on video.
Before I leave here.
Yeah. Matt doesn't want to be on video, but he's currently covered in chicken poop right now. So after it comes out of the primary chill tank, it comes to final inspection with this lovely lady doing final inspection. This is my mom. Say hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
So she goes over the bird, checks it out. What's really cool about Mom, she's got an eye for this type of stuff. But Mom is actually, you're in full remission from lymphoma, aren't you?
Yes.
That is awesome. That's why she has this very cool hat on, and we'd show you her scalp, but we'll save that part. But I love her.
It looks kind of like his.
Hey, that's great. But Mom does a great job, works her butt off. So appreciate you being here, Mom.
Thank you. Oh yeah, I forgot.
All right, so this is this tub here is our final chill, and so it's where we're getting the bird down to its ideal temperature. And Heather and the boys are doing final packaging. So they're bagging the chickens up in our shrink bags, putting a zip tie on. And Heather does a little poke in the bag there as an air hole. Goes in the pot at 190 degrees for just a couple seconds. Comes out and is nicely shrunk down there. Shrunked, whatever the proper. And then we go on the scale here. And that's right at a 6-pound bird. Not too bad. So Heather's putting a label on. And the key is to take that label and cover up that slit that she made. So what that does, of course, that keeps the chicken from being exposed to air in the freezer, covers up the hole, but gives us a nice shrink in the process. She's putting them in our boxes. And then our transport team,
They're ready to go.
young gentleman here, our transport team, they take the side-by-side down with the chickens and put them in the walk-in. So that's our process.
That one you videoed, the skin was up. It didn't look as pretty as the other one.
That's all right. It's no big. Yeah, it's all right.
You can edit that out.
Yeah. We'll put bigger,
another one.
well, I'll superimpose bigger breasts on it. How's that?
It was like a
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Make it look like a dancing girl. Well, so we've got a really good team, and man, this is what makes this stuff so much easier is when you've got family and friends that come and help out. Really cool to have that. So far, we just passed the halfway point. The heaviest bird we had is right at 7 pounds, and the lightest we've had is about a 5.2. And I did a straight run this time, so I had male and female chickens. I did not do all roosters. So I'm really happy with that turnout. Now granted, we are, because of the processing schedule with getting this trailer, we are at the 10 weeks. So it's 2 weeks longer than I'd like to go. But I really like what I'm getting weight-wise. And I think that extra 2 weeks is going to pay off in the weight that we're getting when we go to sell these birds. Well, 2 days later, we obviously have all the processing done. And all that's left is a lot of feathers and the ghosts of some chickens. No, the majority of the feathers are in that trash can, which you don't realize how much a bag of wet feathers can stink. Fortunately, tomorrow is trash day, so we'll be able to get that taken care of. But very happy with the processes. We ended up processing 78 birds is what we had total. And the weights came in a little bit higher than what I was expecting. The birds were right at 10 weeks old, simply because of that was the schedule and getting the trailer in here. I wanted to butcher a week or two earlier than that. But at 10 weeks old, I ended up with about an average of about 6.5 to 7 pound birds. I had one bird that was just a little over 8 pounds, which is a little bit bigger than I like to have. And just a couple that were 4. And then there was one, Lieutenant Dan, he was 3.2, and we called him Lieutenant Dan because his legs didn't work and he hung out. He made it all the way through the life cycle. I would actually just put feed in front of him and he would just kind of flop over to it and eat it. So yeah, he was obviously a little bit smaller than everybody else, but really good. I really enjoyed using that trailer, really enjoyed having the help of friends and family. It goes a long way. It really takes a big task and makes it more manageable. And we had a good time. We finished in about 4.5 hours. So I think we dispatched our first chicken at 7:30 a.m. and we wrapped up right around noon. Took us a couple hours to clean up. We did have to return the trailer obviously clean, so a lot of the coagulated blood and the killing cones, all of that had to be cleaned, and of course getting all the feathers packed up. So the feathers we have here are just feathers that have just randomly appeared. So they obviously, as the thing's spinning and flying around, it does throw them out a bit. So we get a rain, hopefully that'll wash quite a bit of those away. Dog likes playing with them. Well, if you're going to process a lot of chickens, I strongly recommend looking at least the scalder and the plucker. Those two pieces of equipment are extremely helpful when you're doing a lot of birds. Video we did in the past where we skinned them, we did that, and it was, I think we did 20 or 24 chickens then. Not as many as we did this weekend, but it took, I think it was twice as long to do those 24 with 3 of us. So this equipment really helps streamline the process. So the equipment's expensive, obviously. If you can't buy it or you can't justify buying it or trying to build your own, then definitely look for organizations like this that lease or rent this equipment. Very, very handy to have. Well, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Obviously, be sure to check us out on our website, redtoolhouse.com. And we appreciate everybody watching. Take care.